Hey, yo, Envy, we live? Wow, it's been a minute since I did a live. Let me put y'all back uptown, honey. Bring y'all back uptown. We're getting ready. Hey, everybody. Wow, I've not done a live in a minute. Hello. It's giving get ready with me. I can't even wave hi to people. Hi. What's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me well? I'm putting, y'all are propped up in a very awkward space. But I hope, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Because I feel like the microphone might be covered, but it could be me. And it's a little bit of a delayed response. Hola. Hey, Natasha. Jet me away. Yes. I know that's right. Excellent. Hello. You ever feel like when people write in all caps, they be yelling? Why are you yelling at me? Happy August. Happy Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I jumped on live. I've actually been taking a subtle social media break. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to get adjusted to a new space that I have been exploring for the summer. So your girl has been tucked away in Los Angeles. I decided that I wanted to try on LA. I have not moved officially, TBD on what that looks like, but I already knew that spiritually, I already made this decision. Well, the idea came to me at the top of last year, but I already kind of made a decision that I wanted to spend some time away from the East Coast. And so I just decided to take a little bit of a shift and make some logistics happen, and everything happened in divine timing. Literally, everything landed like whiplash. I should have moved to Grenada, right? Could have got me some oil down too, and I would have been over for Spice Mask. But yeah, so obviously y'all know, if you're new here, I'm Bianca. Hi. Geek. So I am a career coach and executive and a keynote speaker. And typically speaking, I talk a lot about career content, as you know, over on my page. But I don't know, something has moved me to really just talk about mind, body, and spirit, and really just protecting and taking care of your mind, especially going into, what are we in, season 3 of the pandemic? Hey, Dia. I feel like we're in like season 3 of the pandemic with an option for renewal that I don't want to see a sequel to this, but it seems like we don't have a choice here. And it's called monkeypox. So that's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt compelled to just think about the mind component and taking care of your mind in the process of so much change. For me, that has been, baby, taking care of my mind in the process of essentially doing I don't want to say it's a move, because I feel like I'm still visiting in some way, but being across the country away from like my core, for the most part, has been a little bit of an adjustment period, right? Making friends as an adult over in the city of Los Angeles, right? Just doing a ton of different things and exploring a new city, a new environment. It's been taking a little bit of a toll. I'd be a liar if I didn't say that. It took a little bit of a toll. So it took a little bit of a toll, and I'm working through the adjustments of it. So one of the things that I think, I don't know, y'all know I love me some TikTok. It's actually hilarious over there. But I came across a page the other day, or I came across a video the other day that talked a little bit about just, all right, hear me out. Let me give you the context. So the context of the video, this girl, it was on the spiritual side of TikTok. But one of the things that she did talk about was just like some of the messages that she got from her spiritual guides. I actually truly do believe that we do get messages, whether we want to listen to them or not, or whatever way that we choose to decide on that. But one of the things that she talked about was this idea of, if you are feeling a sense of resistance, or you are avoiding something, or you're not trying to do something, that is the opportunity for you to step in and do it anyway, right? So if you are afraid of rejection, right? So let's say, I don't know, you're afraid of being rejected by someone, something, a job, a person, a date, a prospect, whatever, put yourself in more rejection. Put yourself in more opportunities to be rejected, right? If you are, apprehensive about making a move, even though you want to, but something in your spirit is just like, I'm afraid. Put yourself in more opportunities to make harder decisions. And especially in that instance, for me, I feel like that resonated to be really, really true, of just looking directly in the eye of the resistance and realizing that, one, is really not that deep, right? Two, you find out that you're actually a lot stronger, a lot more capable, a lot more discerned to be able to face those battles. And sometimes we are actually cooking up bigger ideas than we think we actually are. We're cooking with the resistance, or the thing that we're looking to avoid, is actually not as big as we think it is. I try and avoid doing like fluffy, what I used to deem fluffy content, especially around like motivation. I don't know, just like things that are just like very like quotable on the internet and just can kind of just be, whatever, if that makes sense. But I'm just realizing over more and more, I've already known this, but I'm realizing more and more how important it is to really be the person that would get the things that you want, versus trying to do the things and hope that you will now get this level of result, or you are now going to become this person after you have now achieved this new milestone. Oftentimes, you have to be the person before you get the thing. And I say oftentimes, I mean all the time, right? And that's really where you're really showcasing and proving to yourself that the things that you actually really do want, you're capable of actually handling it, right? So let's say we want more money. You want to get well over 6 figures, or maybe you want to go, and not even just 6 figures at 100K, maybe you want to push 200K, right? It sounds great in theory, but are you the type of person that's going to be able to handle the 200K that comes over into your desk? Are you going to be the type of person that can handle the responsibility that comes with managing that influx of money, right? So start to become that person now, so you don't feel like an imposter, or you don't feel like, oh my God, if I get all this bread or if I get all this money, am I going to be able to handle it? And it's just like, no, you've always been that person. You've just been practicing it. And especially if we are creatures of habit, it behooves you to not wait until a great opportunity comes in front of your hands, and now the imposter syndrome that's in front of you is like, oh my God, I don't want to fumble the bag if I get this. Well, just continue to practice as if you wouldn't do it. Don't even give yourself the option. And maybe we need to redefine what fumbling really actually looks like. It might just be an insight, and we're just putting so much meaning toward failure that's how we grew up, but that's really not the case. It's really not the case. If I could tell you how many failures I would have deemed throughout this entire summer, this entire year, even getting to Los Angeles. Like, honestly, if I sit down and look at it, like I said this to some of my closest friends, like I actually felt like coming over to LA was probably on paper extremely irresponsible. And then as soon as I touched down, God showed me that this is exactly where I needed to be right now in this moment. And that was the resistance. It's like, oh my God, can I do this? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be capable? Can I? And I'm like, all right, well, now that my back is up against the wall, be that person. I don't have a choice. Now it's not even a choice. So let me show myself, and let me show God, and let me show the universe, and however you identify your creator, that like, yeah, like I'm ready. And sometimes it's not even just a matter of doing, it's really embodying the person that would be ready for whatever it is that you're looking for next. So I put this over on August as a note, because it's easy to create like this like this self-care aesthetic, right? Especially, and I like the aesthetic too, I just don't live in it. Like my aesthetic is just it's chill. Like I like a regular aesthetic. I'm not fully into like the luxury aesthetic just yet. Maybe that'll change my mind, but in the interim, it's kind of like, yo, a lot of the self-care, a lot of the taking care of your mind, a lot of the taking care of your heart, taking care of your body, mind, and spirit is not pretty. It's not cute. It doesn't look like glasses of champagne and glasses of sparkling wine over while taking a bubble bath. A lot of it is sitting there and being like, damn, I was in the wrong. damn, like I could have handled that better. Damn, let me manage my ego a little bit and realize that like I didn't have to procrastinate on this project for 3 weeks and it just took me 10 minutes. Like, it's just really me. I'm the drama, everybody. It's me. Okay. So I say all that to say, some of the questions I'll share. I'm not going to tell you what you should be doing with yourself, right? I'll share with you what it is that I've been working on, and maybe that might help give you a little bit of guidance or maybe just inspiration or something to think about as you prepare for September, which I tend to find to be a very, very busy month, particularly on the professional development side, where there are more opportunities and more flexibility and just more conversations about the needs. Budgets become a little bit clearer in terms of what they need to do by the end of the year, around the Q3, Q4 quarter. Because technically speaking, if we think about it on a work year basis, like we really only have like September and October left in the year before November, December is just a matter of 3 total weeks, not including holidays and not including when people are going to go jump offline. So our years are actually cut relatively short. It just so happens that we just honor the months as vacation, which is cool, right? But some of the questions I've been asking myself is, okay, what do I want to create, right? So, okay, quick aside, some people, I know Nandi is in here, and he did, well, maybe he left, but I did a workshop. I did several workshops, one of them called Momentum, and one of the things that we talked a lot about is our ways of being, right, and how we want to show up into certain things. And so I developed my own personal second half of the year game plan in terms of how I want to design my life. Like, life is not, obviously I think we know it sounds cute when you say it, like I'm designing my life right now. No, I'm actually really like thinking about the things that I want to create. So one of the first things that I said that I wrote over on my list was, what do I want to create, right? So I broke down all my things into multiple categories. So I had family, friends, I had travel and adventure, I had love and romance, I had health and fitness, finance and wealth, and spirituality and inner peace. And in all those categories, I just wrote one sentence and I said, what do I want to create in these categories, right? I should probably bring my notebook. Let me grab it so y'all know I'm not lying when I said I did it. And it's hot. Child, one thing about it, LA is going to be 85 degrees one day and at night is going to be 2. And I would like to call the mayor. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, literally have it all written down here, highlighted all them things. So in the first thing that I had wrote down, the first question I asked myself is like, what do I want to create as it pertains to this category? So let's say, for example, with family and friends, I wrote down, I want to create a village of tight-knit bonds and a tribe that is very referral-based and really lets everybody shine on their gifts, right? And the reason why I wrote that is because, especially as you become a lot older, I shouldn't tell y'all my age. I mean, I can probably guess it. But I'm in my 30s, right? And so I think about like, okay, at some point, your girl probably wants to be a mama, right? I'll be somebody fly mama too. But when I think about the type of world that I would want to even raise a kid in, I'm like, okay, well, at least I have a village that will be able to help me out. I have no interest in being able to develop or build a family solo dolo. Literally, like, yes, with both parents, but like I want them to have, like, all my friends, they don't know this yet, but they already know. Like, they already got built-in aunties and uncles. Like, that's just how that works. And it's just like, hey, like, I want to understand, how I get dressed about this, and maybe my man can't dress like that. Okay, I'm gonna send it over to one of the uncles. Okay. Send it over to one of the uncles. But I say all that to say, I think about what type of thing that I want to create and why. That's one example of why. But I also just recognize, like, my parents are getting older. I want to tighten up with them, right? Like, I think about those subtle things that as an adult, as an adult, time is so precious. I want to be able to make sure that I'm embodying the type of world that I want to bring somebody into. So that was the first question. I talked about that with career and business. I said that with love and romance. I answered that question for literally every category. And it wasn't like a dissertation. It was one sentence. Okay. So there's that. The second question that I asked myself is, who do I need to be in order to make that happen? And this is where I shouldn't be giving this much sauce, but I'm gonna give it some momentum on this. The embodiment of the type of person that would actually be able to create the thing that I want to create. It's not what do I need to do, it's who do I need to be, right? So if I want to create this village of tight-knit bonds and friends and everybody is holding each other together, they need something to hold on to. They need something to bond to. And something to bond to is vulnerability. Something to bond to is openness. Something to bond to is being present. So I need to be those things. I need to embody somebody that is open, embody somebody that is absolutely knows where vulnerability is a superpower and who earns that. What else did I write in here? I was over here preaching in my book today, honey. But I wrote, like I'm an open, present, and connected person, being connected, being engaged and being interested in the well-being of the people around me. As much as, yes, I know that it's a lot of take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. Yes, I hear you, all of that. But that also means that you need to create space to care as well too. I think it's just it's an art to doing that, and knowing where, like, when you take care of yourself, you actually do everybody a better service to show up for them as well too. So that was another thing that I wrote. And then the third question I asked myself is, what would this look like a year from now? And how will it feel? So here's the thing that I think is so interesting, y'all. Feelings. Feelings. Oh, deep in my feelings. So I have been getting more comfortable with my feelings and getting more in tune with what they are trying to communicate to me, right? And not being ashamed of feelings that come up that I think that a lot of times society just deems absolutely wrong. Like, some things are obviously morally just not okay, but just like the idea of, the idea of envy or jealousy, or when those things come up, we are all human beings, and not for nothing, these apps, like social media, not to be like the auntie to say these apps, but like these social media, when we talk about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., they breed feelings of envy. Just that's the nature of how they control users, right? It's not a secret. It's just when you put language behind it, it's just like, oh damn, that's kind of crazy. But it's true, right? Because you want to circle back, and then you start to compare yourself, and then you start to question if, like, ooh, like, can I do this? Am I capable? How'd she get that? Well, I feel like I could do that too. Whatever, right? And so I said all that to say, like, the feelings piece for me has been less about judging myself for having the feeling, and asking and being more curious about why they're showing up to begin with, right? Or what is it trying to signal to me, right? And if I feel like, okay, well, this person got it, why don't I have it? Maybe there's a part of me that feels like I'm not good enough to have that thing. So I need to be honest with myself about the feeling, instead of me over here projecting on everybody else and being like, well, I don't understand how sis is able to do boop, 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 this and the third, or why he got this and this and the third, or why he got promoted over me, or why he got that girl, or what. That don't got nothing to do with that person. They should block me, right? If my feelings actually came out loud like that. But it's information, right? We can choose to judge the feeling or not, but it's actually just information. The information that we get about our feelings is actually just a true guide to what it is that we might be experiencing, just like gives us some insight to what we can do with it. I also am like not the person that is gonna tell you to be like this perfect love and light, be super healed and move around like a fairy godparent. I actually do think that dark energy is actually helpful, and it creates a little bit of balance because it gives an undertone of respect. Another conversation for another day. But I do find that, like, I have been getting more comfortable with those things that come up And when I have a conversation with myself and addressing where they show up and why they're showing up, it helps me get a better way to handle it, or a better way to perceive it, or just look at it. And it's just like, well, why do you feel that way, right? I don't know if that made sense. Thumbs up if it did. Thumbs down if it did not. I'll circle back to and work on it. Almost. Another thing, feelings. Maybe I'll talk about that perfectionism piece later. But I say all that to say, what will it look like a year from now? That's the visualization piece that I've tapped into, is being able to actually close my eyes and meditate and pray and watch myself be in these spaces, right? So like a year from now, right, all goes as planned because I'm designing it. I close my eyes, I see myself in a beautiful sun-drenched apartment in Los Angeles. And so it's like, this is what it's going to look like. It's also going to look like my family is, no problem. It also looks like my family visiting. It also looks like, road trips to Coachella or whatever the case is. It looks like a lot of these things. But I have to visualize that. And when I visualize it, it's not enough to just see it. Now I have to feel it. Like, okay, like, let me imagine it. It's kind of like when you eat something, like you have your favorite meal, and then you just don't remember, like, your mama's favorite cooking, whatever, and it's just like, oh my gosh, the cobbler's always hitting, the mac and cheese always hitting. You literally can do the same exact thing for the experiences that you want to have, right? So that means when I'm sitting and when I'm thinking about a year from now, what it's going to look like, I'm also... Instagram told me I've been on the app too long, which is probably true. But I'm also sitting, visualizing, and I'm also generating the feeling of what it would be like for me to walk into that apartment. And then I'm doing that in the morning, I'm doing that at night, and I'm being consistent about that, and I'm leaning in, knowing that I really just have to practice the feeling. So by the time it comes here, I'm not confused or shocked. Baby been manifested. We've been preparing, right? We've been moving with the spirit of expectation, right? Because that's the way of being. That's how I've been taking care of my mind to focus on the things that I know that I want. And I just know that I have to be the person that gets it. And if whatever I want, I get. And no one's gonna, I'm not gonna allow external factors to... I'm going to do my best, but I'm also like going to put the intention out to not allow for external factors to make me feel like it's not possible as much as I can. And that's where I lean on my tribe, being connected, being open, being present. So there's that. Another question that I ask my good old self. This is where it gets good. Okay. So I put, what are the top 3 priorities in each category? So here's the thing about this. I described each of these things in a very specific sentence. And I outlined it in a way that would ensure that I get results and that I can see something tangible. So it's, people say SMART goals, literally that. And because I already went through the process of already experiencing it emotionally, and now I understand what the output would actually look like, I'm just going to create the priority in a way that it's just like, I'm going to do these things by this date. I'm going to do at least this by this date. So an example of that is, I have taken my parents on a trip for 2 to 3 days outside of New Jersey by July 28th, 2023. I have to get very specific with that. Another thing is I talk to at least 5 of my family members on the phone every month by November 30th. Right? And I did that, and it sounds very like work goaly-ish, but I do think that there's something to be said about looking at the end of it, looking at the end of a process or the end of a sprint like that, and actually having something tangible to say that I did these things, or having a goal, and it just helps you get the clarity. When you get clear, and this, I'll be saying this all over the internet, when you get clear on what it is that you actually want, your mind can take care of it. You see the title of this thing? Y'all not ready for me. Y'all not ready for me. When you get clear, your mind can take care of it. It's really that simple. I do think that we have been socially engineered to feel like this is challenging and difficult when it's not. But I promise you, you start to outline what it is that you want your priority to look like and what it feels like. It's not that hard, right? It's really not that hard. So I put a couple things over on the spirituality and the inner peace segment of it. What did I write? Okay, in the spirituality and peace, I said I'm trusting, present, and a vulnerable woman. And what my priorities for that, it looks like I've meditated for at least 2,500 minutes. I've meditated for at least 2,500 minutes by November 30th, 2022. And it just holds me accountable. And now I'm like, all right, cool. So if I do the math, carry the two, we're talking about 10 to 15 minutes of meditation a day. I can do that, right? And now next thing you know, goals are happening. Now it's bite-sizable. Now it's chewable, okay? I gave myself a deadline to finish my climax of the novel. Love that for you. And something I'll offer this up to you as well. You could take a leave. This is not to tell you how to do your deadline, child. But deadlines are important. I also read this book that helped me tremendously, similar to Atomic Habits, but it was called Mini Habits. And the idea of the book was essentially breaking down goals into the goals being so small that it feels dumb. It feels like, all right, like anybody could do this, right? So if you intend for this novel to be done by a certain deadline, it's like, okay, cool. Can you write for 2 minutes a day? Yeah. All right, then do it. So do those 2 minutes every single day. And then next thing you know, you might add on 5. Now it might be actually, it's like now that compound interest that you have over on your ability to just be consistent is signaling back over into your body that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And that you're prepared for whatever it is that you want next. So I don't know if that's helpful, but I wanted to offer that up to you. That's why I mentioned climax, not end it. Yeah, I feel that. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to hear about the launch of it. I know that's right. And then, so I have 3 priorities against all of these things underneath, just outlining what I'm going to focus on, and that's it. Like, that's it. I already covered every aspect of my life at this point, and I have to be okay with saying no. So now it goes back to like, who do I need to be to make this happen? Responsible, urgent, okay with just saying no, right? Having strong boundaries. And then, yeah, so that's essentially how I've outlined how I'm taking care of my mind for August and how I intend to make those things happen for the next 90 days. Again, like, this is only over the course of 90 days. This is not even like, a 1-year plan. Maybe I should have said that at the beginning. This is over the course of 90 full days that I'm planning on doing this. I did this with a leadership team through Momentum, and man, I put things on that list that I did not think that was even possible. And I did not necessarily complete every little thing over within those 90 days. The 91st day I did. And so I saw that to say, a lot of that required me to take care of my mind and to be clear and to embody the person that would actually get it, that gets the thing, or they are now the person and they believe that they're worthy and deserving of that. Love Momentum, truly life-changing. Momentum, yeah, Momentum's that girl. So anyway, it's been a minute since I jumped on live because I was taking a little bit of time to just recalibrate, being over in a complete to people that are out here. There's so many people that still haven't left, and I'm actually coming back over to the East Coast in a little bit that I will see back again once I come back, whenever that is. But yeah, I want to offer that up to you, all 4 people that are in my life. I want to offer that up to you to just be a reminder that whatever you feel like is the thing that you know that you want to do, the person that you want to be, the things that you want to acquire, achieve, literally think about courage as the foundation for every little thing that you actually really want to do. So again, like if there's a fear of experiencing a certain feeling, face the feeling. Put yourself in it. Face the resistance. Literally jump in it and put your look your eye look in the eye of the thing that you are resisting, and realizing that you're way better than your circumstances. You have way more possibilities, and treat yourself at the highest possibility, because then everybody else will follow. Because if you moving like this, then everyone doesn't have a choice but to follow suit with you. So stay encouraged in that process, and lean on your family, lean on your tribe, lean on your people. Do not do this by yourself. That's another thing. Oh, girl, maybe another lie for another day. But do not go through taking care of yourself solo. That's my biggest lesson from the summer. It's stupid. It's not necessary to do that. Like, I think that there's this notion of, let me not project. My perception of it is just like, I feel like I need to do these things, and I don't want to, everyone got their own stuff going on. I don't want to burden people. I don't want to blah. Not realizing that there are more people that want to love you, that want to take care of you, that want to care for you than not. And you haven't even met not even 2% of them. There are people that will love you and take care of you and look out for you that don't even know your name, and they'll just do it off the strength because they feel you. So I want to offer that up to you as something to just sit with. Who do you need to be to get the thing that you want? Look at the thing and look at the thing that is holding you back directly in the eye, and let them know that you're that girl, you're that guy, and you're going to realize how small it was and how big you are. And again, maybe I might go on my Iyanla soapbox a little bit more and share some of these feelings or some of these experiences I've had with y'all. But really, your mind is going to be the thing that gets you to designing the life that you want. And I really mean that with every fiber in my body. So, thanks for joining on to my live after being offline for just about a month. At least it feels like it. I will be jumping back on a little bit more this and next week, and transitioning over into the last swing of summer, and also just sharing some of the things that I have been noticing about job hunting, corporate politics. I'm also thinking about developing a solution around corporate politics and making sure that my people that follow me understand the game, and they understand how to work on the things that matter and get the things that they want, so they can literally navigate the workforce however they so please. So that'll be on my IG stories a little bit more, because I'm just going to ask y'all what it is that y'all want, because I don't want to make something thinking that it's useful when it's not actually useful to y'all. So stay tuned on that. In the interim, I'm going to see y'all over on IG stories and back on live. Okay, and I think I'm going to add this over into my grid, but it was good chatting with y'all. Thanks for listening to me. Hey y'all, I know I'm about to log off, y'all. I'm about to leave. I'm sweating. My top lip sweating. All right. Happy Tuesday, y'all, and happy August. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.